9:43, everybody. In the new movie Babysplitters, two couples decide to share one child. However, they didn't quite think it all the way through, which leads one of them to seeking the advice of a therapist. Take a look.
Now, I want you to try to reframe your thoughts about what would happen.
Well, how do I even start? I just keep picturing them thrusting.
Yeah, okay, but think about the end.
And then more thrusting.
Right, I got it.
And then she's looking at him thrusting.
Okay.
And then he's looking at her thrusting.
Well, very specific imagery.
It's just a lot of thrusting.
Okay, but think about the end. What's the end?
A compromise?
It's a lot of thrusting. Joining us this morning from the cast of Babysplitters, actor Mark Feuerstein. Good morning to you. You have a lot of energy this morning. We were just chatting the commercial break. How you doing?
Good, Dan. How are you? I'm thrilled to be here on WPIX. Is this the same WPIX that used to play the Pix game when I was about 8 years old?
It is the same channel, and I heard you were a fan of Pix 11, and yet, so you used to play the Pix.
Are you kidding? I mean, that's all we did. Think about how little entertainment. There it is. Oh my God, that's the best. Yeah, you would just sit there at my kitchen table, looking at the little Sony Trinitron TV, as people called in and yelled, "Pix, Pix, Pix."
Right.
And it was so simple and yet so entertaining. Am I wrong?
I mean, do you think we should bring it back? Because
you're a little younger, so maybe not as entertaining for you.
I think we should bring it back because things have gotten so complex in this world, right? That the simpler times of simpler games like that just look at how excited you got when you saw it. You know what I'm saying?
I am so excited, and it brought people together, Dan.
I know, Mark. All right, so let's talk about this. It's received great reviews. I want to talk about why you're here. So is this a comedy drama, Babysplitters? Tell me a little bit about the storyline here.
Okay, so the premise of the movie is that two couples decide they don't have enough money, respectively, or bandwidth to have kids, but if they do it together, it would work out because they'd be on one week, off the next, split some of the costs, and it seems pretty logical. But then when Danny Pudi's character, Jeff, who is my patient, I'm his therapist, as you just saw, has to watch his beautiful wife have sex with his best friend in order to conceive the child that they're going to share, it starts to turn the other way. And pretty soon we realized that this was not the most brilliant idea. But it's hysterical. Everyone's so funny in the movie, and it's directed by my buddy Sam Friedlander, who directed me in another film that everybody should go out and rent, Larry Gay, Renegade Male Flight Attendant.
Okay, there we go. And that explains the thrusting clip that we played, now that you played it. What kind of advice?
It's a theme throughout the movie.
What's your advice that you give then? Can you give us a little bit of that?
Yeah, don't split a baby. I'm in two shows right now. I'm in a movie called Babysplitters and a show on Netflix called The Babysitters Club, which is doing great, and a lot of young kids are really enjoying it. And I think sitting for babies works better than splitting them. I think that's my way out there thesis.
I just want to say I love your energy. So this is not your first time, by the way, playing a doctor, right? Because we've heard you play the Hamptons concierge doctor on the Royal Pain series. So was it nice being able to play this kind of again? It's a little different kind of doctor.
Oh, there's my blue steel.
How
Thank
handsome.
you, Dan, for putting that up there for all of New York to see. I love it. Yeah, you know, I'm actually in Bridgehampton right now where Royal Pains was filmed. And that was the greatest job of my TV career. 8 years in bliss, working with an amazing cast, great writers. And it just came on to Peacock, which is the new streaming service from Universal. So I'm very thrilled that a whole new generation of people may tune into it, check it out. It's a beautiful show with great storylines.
Right.
And it was great to play a doctor. And when, I was rejected by all the parking lot attendants when I was in college, couldn't get out to the Hamptons to go to the beach. And then when we started filming, we took over those beaches.
That's right.
And I told those parking lot attendants to go to hell.
I was going to say, you said, look at me now, everybody. So, we talked about Pix. You grew up in New York. You live in LA now, but you are back on the East Coast. And you came back here during the middle of quarantine and COVID. So what was that trip like?
It was pretty interesting to see my children and my wife and I all in hazmat suits. We looked pretty ridiculous, like we were in the movie The Right Stuff.
Yeah.
And luckily, there were not that many people on the flight. It was JetBlue. They're doing a great job. We landed 2 days later. We got tested. We were all negative, so we felt comfortable. Unfortunately, my parents had COVID. They were in New York City in their apartment on 79th Street, and it was very scary for a while. My brother and I were kind of tag teaming, trying to send an ICU nurse that we could find into the apartment. My mother was on oxygen. My father had 102. But now they're like Wonder Woman and Iron Man because they're, they have antibodies. We don't know much about for how long they might last.
Right.
So we're still being very safe. But thank God they're okay, and now all of us are together out here for a little while. Which
I'm so glad
really
they're
nice.
okay. I'm really glad to hear that they're okay. Great description. Hey, the boss upstairs is watching. Do you want to tell him to bring the game back?
Oh yes, please. Hey, boss of WPIX, we need picks back. We need to bring New York City back together with picks.
Mark, can you come back every day? Your energy is like contagious.
Here, hey, Dan.
That's right. Mark, always good to talk to you. I'm so glad you came on. The boss is going to yell at me for even bringing him into the conversation here, but I think we're onto something.
Dan. You're a renegade
I am
like
a
me.
renegade. I am. I've never
great.
followed the rules. I've never followed the rules. I've always gotten myself in trouble. I insert foot in mouth all the time. Mark, thank you. We'll talk when the game is back, okay?
All right, man. Thank you so much. Great to talk to you. Love to New York.
Great talking to you, too, and I'm glad your family's okay. By the way, you can see more of Mark Feuerstein in Babysplitters. The movie's out today on video on demand, iTunes, Amazon Prime Video, and other digital platforms. There it is.
I love him. He's got to keep his phone on every single day
Seriously.
because we're going to call you.